All right, let's just get right into it. For so long, we've all been told that technical skills, the hard stuff you can list on a resume, are the absolute key to success. But the world of work, it's changing, and it is changing fast. That's exactly why today, we're going to break down the 12 essential soft skills you really need to be thriving by 2026. Because honestly, your technical know-how might get you the interview, but it's just not enough anymore to build a real, lasting career.
And look, this isn't just some vague idea. The stakes are incredibly high. As this headline from the Every Girl puts it so bluntly, ignoring these skills isn't just a missed opportunity, it's actively putting your career on the line. So what is this hidden threat? And more importantly, how do you protect yourself from it? Well, that's what we're about to unpack. So, to really get why these skills are such a huge deal, we first have to wrap our heads around how the professional world has completely changed. I mean, the old rules, the old career paths, all those old safety nets, they're pretty much disappearing right before our eyes.
Now, this slide is fantastic because of the metaphor it uses, which comes from Career Contessa. For decades, right, we thought of a career as a ladder. You start at the bottom, and it's a straight, predictable climb to the top. But today, it's a career jungle gym. You're moving sideways, you're pivoting, you might swing over to a totally different section. It's so much more dynamic and unpredictable, and you can bet that takes a whole different set of skills to handle.
And if that wasn't complicated enough, we're dealing with these new workplace threats that the Evergirl has pointed out. First, you've got ghost growth. That's when you get a ton of new responsibilities, but no new title or raise to go with it. Sound familiar? Then there's the forever layoff, which is that nagging feeling that real job security is just gone. And because of that, so many of us are forced into career cushioning, always kind of preparing for the next job loss. It's a really unstable environment to be in.
So, in this crazy fluctuating world, what's the one thing that actually stays stable? What's your permanent currency? It's your soft skills. Just as they're defined here, these are the interpersonal skills that really determine how you work with and relate to other people. They go with you wherever you go, they never go out of style, and they're what will see you through any twist or turn on that career jungle gym.
We've broken these 12 essential skills down into 3 main categories. So let's start with the first one, the foundational skills. Just think of these as the base of a pyramid. Absolutely everything else is built right on top of them.
So, this foundational trio is all about mastering networking, intentionally building up your confidence, and really understanding the fine art of strategic likability. Let's take a closer look at each one. First up, networking. And listen, we are not talking about just collecting a stack of business cards at some happy hour. The goal here is to become a successful networker, a concept from Career Contessa that's all about building real, sustainable relationships that will support you for the long haul. It's truly about quality over quantity and creating a genuine support system for your entire career. Next is confidence. And this is so important because every single time you make a move on that career jungle gym, you can face what experts are calling a confidence crunch. The key thing to remember here is that confidence isn't something you're just born with. It's a muscle. You have to work it, you have to strengthen it, and be really intentional about building it, especially when you're feeling a little shaky.
And finally, there's likability. But, and this is a huge but, it comes with a major warning. It's so easy to fall into what are called likability traps, where you're so focused on being liked that you end up sacrificing being respected. Strategic likability is the art of being friendly and collaborative without turning into a people pleaser who lets go of their own boundaries and authority.
Okay, so once you have that foundation solid, it's time to build on it with the skills that actually get you noticed and help you move forward. So let's get into the leadership and visibility suite. Now, this has nothing to do with whether you have manager in your title. Intentional leadership is a mindset, it's a set of actions, it's about creating visibility for your own work, mastering how you handle conflict, taking charge of your first 90 days in any new role, and, crucially, tapping into your own internal motivation. Creating visibility is just non-negotiable. A piece in The Good Trade points out that so many of us are actually afraid to be seen. We worry about looking like we're bragging. But here's the thing, if you don't advocate for your own work and show its impact, you can't just assume someone else will. Learning how to do this in a way that feels authentic to you is an absolute game changer.
And that leads us to a really critical point about leadership. True leaders aren't the people who avoid problems. They're defined by how they navigate them. Mastering conflict resolution is all about learning how to frame a challenge, discuss it professionally, and guide a team towards a solution. It's about owning the narrative, especially when things get tough. Finally, in this category, we have intrinsic motivation. In an era of instability and the forever layoff, just waiting around for external validation is a losing game. You have to be your own engine. Finding that deep, 100% internal drive is what's going to keep you going through all the inevitable ups and downs of a modern career.
So you have the foundation, and you have the leadership skills, but how do you make sure they actually stick? Well, that brings us to our final category, mastery through daily audits. This is all about turning what you know into a consistent daily practice.
This suite of skills demands constant self-awareness. It includes really tangible actions like negotiation, asking for that raise, the discipline of strategic goal setting, and the emotional intelligence to manage that green-eyed monster of workplace jealousy and just stay focused on your own path.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to know that these skills are important, but how do you actually practice and get better at them in the middle of a crazy, busy work life? The answer really comes down to two things: intentional living and consistent self-auditing. It just means moving through your day with a real sense of purpose and regularly taking a few moments to reflect on your actions and your interactions. It's all about making a conscious effort to grow.
And here's how you can make that feel totally real and doable. A career audit sounds like a massive, intimidating project, right? But it doesn't have to be. It can be as simple as a 5-minute journaling practice at the end of the day using prompts inspired by the work at Career Contessa. Just to ask yourself pointed questions like these. This regular, quick reflection is what turns theory into an actual ingrained skill.
So as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought. We've covered a lot today, from networking and confidence all the way to self-auditing. As you look at this whole list and think about the future, which one of these skills really stands out as your single biggest opportunity to not just survive, but to truly thrive in the career jungle gym? Your answer to that question, that's your starting point.